Andrew Yang, I see you've been writing on your paper a lot. We haven't heard from you a little bit. You haven't. Where do you see the race right now? Where do you see this going for Joe Biden?
I believe that Joe Biden will be the Democratic nominee. And I've always said I'm going to support whoever the nominee is. So I hereby am endorsing Joe Biden to be not just the nominee for the Democratic Party, but the next president of the United States. And I say this having supported Bernie Sanders in 2016. Bernie was an inspiration for me, inspired my run. But the math says Joe is our prohibitive nominee. We need to bring the party together. We need to start working on defeating Donald Trump in the fall. I've had many personal conversations with Joe about the impact of the fourth industrial revolution on the middle class. I believe that he's the right man for the job to help us not just defeat Donald Trump, but govern the country in the years ahead. His heart's in the right place. He's a really patriotic, public servant, decent man. He wants to do right by the American people. To me, a lot of it's about getting real solutions in place that more and more Americans feel like will actually improve their day-to-day lives.
Have you had conversations with the Biden campaign about endorsement?
I have. Joe called me last week. We had a really great conversation, and it was hard to say no to Joe at that time, but I have such admiration and respect for Bernie, what he's meant to so many Americans. I think Bernie has called out the real problems in a very powerful and necessary way. So I wanted to let the democratic process play out, and I believe it has. At this point, you can see very clearly that Biden is building a delegate lead that's only going to grow in the days ahead. And so we need to come together as a party starting tonight.
What would you say to Sanders supporters who, obviously are going to be unhappy if Sanders drops out of the race? For you, as it is, as Senator Sanders has said himself, defeating Donald Trump trumps all of that.
I would say I get it. And that I believe that Joe gets it too, even though you might not feel that in the same way. I get the frustration. I get the desire for a revolution. I get the fact that it seems like our institutions are failing us right and left. I get all of that. It's why I ran. But we have to defeat Donald Trump in order to make progress on the climate, on any of these problems in a bigger way. And you have to believe that Bernie and Elizabeth and I and other people will have a voice in the Biden administration to start solving these problems.